Every winter, heating bills climb higher and higher, leaving most families struggling to stay warm without draining their wallets. But hidden away from the modern world, the Amish have quietly mastered an incredible system of keeping their homes cozy without gas, electricity, or expensive furnaces. For just pennies a day, they heat spacious living rooms and entire houses, even in freezing cold. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating Amish secrets to winter warmth, and how you can use them to slash your own heating costs. The rocket mass heater, small wood. Big heat. When most people think of heating their homes with wood, they imagine a traditional fireplace, or maybe a standard wood-burning stove. The problem is, both of these options are notoriously inefficient. A fireplace looks cozy, but in reality, it sends most of the heat right up the chimney, along with your money. A regular stove is a little better, but it still requires constant feeding and burns through logs like a hungry giant. The Amish, however, have perfected something far smarter: the rocket mass heater. If regular stoves are like a slow, heavy wagon, the rocket mass heater is the sports car of wood-burning systems. It's sleek, powerful, and designed for efficiency. Instead of wasting heat, it extracts every last bit of warmth from a surprisingly small amount of wood. Here's how it works. The rocket mass heater has a specialized combustion chamber, where the fire burns at extremely high temperatures. These temperatures are so intense that the wood is almost completely converted into heat, with hardly any smoke left behind. The flames shoot upward with a roaring sound. That's actually how it got its name, rocket heater. The energy isn't wasted up the chimney. Instead, it travels through a series of channels built inside a large thermal mass, usually made of cob, brick, or stone. Think of this mass like a giant rechargeable battery, except instead of storing electricity, it stores heat. Once the chamber is loaded with just a few sticks or branches, the fire burns clean and hot, and the thermal mass begins to soak up that energy. After the fire has gone out, the heat continues to radiate slowly from the mass for 12 to 24 hours. That means one small armload of wood in the morning can keep a family warm well into the night. Imagine sitting down to sleep and still feeling the cozy warmth of a fire. You built at breakfast. That's the power of this design, and the scale is impressive. A well-built rocket mass heater can comfortably heat up to 2,000 square feet, maintaining indoor temperatures around 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, even during harsh winter nights. That's more than enough space for an Amish family gathering, quilting session, or simply relaxing together after a long day of work. Another genius aspect of this system is its multifunctionality. Many rocket mass heater designs include a flat cooking surface right on top. While the heater is keeping the entire house warm, it can also be used to boil water, prepare soup, or cook hearty Amish stews. In a world where every resource is used carefully, combining heating and cooking into one efficient system is nothing short of brilliant. The cost savings are also while a traditional fireplace might burn through an entire cord of wood in a short season, a rocket mass heater can cut that consumption by up to 80%. That's less time chopping wood, less money spent on fuel, and more warmth for the family. As the Amish often say, they heat themselves twice with wood, once while chopping it, and once while burning it. With the rocket mass heater, that second burn lasts much, much longer. For those of us living outside Amish country, the idea might sound complicated, but really, it's a matter of smart design. The key is proper ventilation and a well-built chimney system that safely channels out the small amount of exhaust. Once it's set up, maintenance is minimal. Unlike modern furnaces that constantly break down or require expensive repairs, a rocket mass heater can last for decades with simple upkeep. So while most Americans are trapped in a cycle of ever-rising heating bills, the Amish quietly enjoy warm, spacious homes fueled by just a fraction of the wood. With their rocket mass heaters, they've turned a pile of branches into a powerhouse of comfort, a system that's as sustainable as it is economical. Coal stoves, the Amish workhorse, when the winter winds sweep across Pennsylvania and Ohio. Amish families rely on a tried-and-true heating solution that has kept their homes warm for generations: the coal stove. While modern households depend on electric or gas furnaces, the Amish turn to this reliable workhorse. For them, it's not just about saving money. It's about consistency, durability, and heating power that never fails. Even on the coldest nights, coal stoves are especially popular in areas close to mining regions where coal is abundant and affordable. Instead of chopping endless piles of firewood, Amish families can stock up on several tons of coal before winter begins. The cost is surprisingly low, usually between $100 and $150 per ton. To put that into perspective, 1 ton of coal can keep a medium-sized Amish home warm for about a month. Compare that to the average American family's heating bill of $200 to $300 per month, and you can quickly see why coal remains such a practical choice. But affordability is only part of the story. Coal stoves are loved for their steady, long-lasting heat. Unlike wood stoves that often need to be fed every few hours, a well-loaded coal stove can run for 12 to 24 hours on a single load. That means no waking up in the middle of the night to stoke the fire, no frantic rush to keep the flames alive, and no freezing mornings. Instead, families enjoy a steady and warmth that carries them comfortably from day to night. Placement also plays a key role. Many Amish families install their coal stoves in the basement or on the first floor. From there, heat naturally rises, warming the entire home. But the Amish have also developed clever tricks to make their coal stoves even more effective. For example, when a coal stove sits in the basement, they sometimes install simple ventilation shafts in the floor above. On especially cold days, they'll even pour a little water near these vents. As the water evaporates, it adds moisture to the rising warm air, creating a natural, low-cost humidifier that keeps the air comfortable instead of dry and harsh. And while modern heating systems often break down after a decade or two, Amish coal stoves are built to last. It's not uncommon to find families still using the same stove after 40 or even 50 years. With proper care and occasional maintenance, these stoves can outlast generations, becoming a trusted part of the home, just like a reliable old workhorse in the barn. Of course, coal stoves aren't perfect. The initial investment can be significant, with quality models costing anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000. There's also the challenge of coal dust, which can be messy if not carefully managed. Ventilation is crucial as well, since coal produces more emissions than wood. But the Amish, with their generations of experience, have mastered these challenges. For them, proper placement, regular cleaning, and careful operation are simply part of daily life. The real beauty of the coal stove lies in its reliability. Unlike wood fires that can burn too hot one moment and fizzle out the next, coal burns at a steady, dependable temperature. It's like having a faithful farm horse that plows the fields day after day without complaint. Load it up, adjust the dampers, and let it run. The stove takes care of the rest, keeping the home warm and comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. In many Amish communities, coal stoves are more than just heating appliances. They're family traditions. Some are passed down from one generation to the next, serving as a reminder of resilience and practicality. As one Amish farmer once said, "A good coal stove is like a good horse. Treat it well, and it will serve you faithfully for years." While the modern world struggles with rising utility bills and fragile heating systems, the Amish sit around their coal stoves, enjoying the same steady warmth their grandparents once did. Affordable, dependable, and nearly indestructible, the coal stove truly earns its title as the Amish workhorse of winter. Propane and kerosene heaters. Instant Amish warmth. Not every heating method used by the Amish relies on wood or coal. Sometimes they need something faster and more convenient, especially after a long day of work in the fields. This is where propane and kerosene heaters come in. Quick, efficient, and perfectly suited to Amish life because they don't require electricity, unlike a wood stove that needs time to build up heat, or a coal stove that slowly releases warmth. Propane and kerosene heaters deliver instant results. Simply light them, and within minutes, the room feels cozy. For an Amish family stepping in from freezing outdoor chores, that immediate warmth is priceless. Another advantage is portability. Many models are lightweight and can be moved from room to room as needed. If the family is gathered in the kitchen, the heater can be there. Later in the evening, it can be carried into the living room or a bedroom. In this way, it works almost like a loyal companion, following the family and providing heat wherever it's most needed. The cost is also manageable. A typical Amish household might spend around $20 to $25 per month on propane or kerosene during winter. While not as cheap as wood gathered from local land, It's still far below the $200 to $300 heating bills most modern families face. Plus, the Amish know how to stretch their savings further. They often buy propane in bulk during the off-season, when prices are lower, ensuring a steady supply at minimal cost. Maintenance is refreshingly simple compared to wood or coal stoves. There's no ash to shovel out, no heavy wood piles to stack, and no coal dust to manage. Families simply refill the tank or container when needed, making it one of the least labor-intensive heating methods available to them. Of course, proper ventilation remains important. These heaters produce fumes and must be operated safely, but the Amish have used them for decades and know how to keep their homes comfortable without risk. Heat from light. The Amish double-duty trick when most people think of heating. They imagine furnaces, stoves, or fireplaces. But the Amish, with their habit of making every tool serve more than one purpose, have found a clever way to turn something as ordinary as light into a source of warmth. Their secret: gas-powered mantle lamps and wall-mounted sconces that not only brighten a room, but also add a noticeable boost of heat. A single gas mantle lamp can raise the temperature of a room by 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't sound like much at first, but on a bitter winter evening, that small bump in warmth makes all the difference. Place several lamps throughout a living space, and suddenly the room feels far more comfortable without the need for an additional heater. It's a subtle, steady heat that works quietly in the background. Wall-mounted sconces take this concept even further. Acting almost like miniature radiators, they spread warmth evenly across the home. Unlike a single heat source that warms one spot while leaving corners chilly, sconces distribute both light and heat across the walls, creating a balanced and cozy environment. Families can walk from one room to another without the harsh contrast of hot and cold spots. The brilliance of this method lies in its efficiency. Light is needed anyway, especially during the long, dark evenings of winter. Since the lamps are already burning, the extra heat they generate is essentially free. No additional fuel, no extra effort, just smart design. The Amish have long understood that the most sustainable systems are those that serve more than one function, and their use of mantle lamps perfectly demonstrates that principle. There's also something deeply comforting about this setup. Picture an Amish family gathered together after supper, the room softly glowing with the golden light of mantle lamps. The warmth is gentle, wrapping the space in a sense of calm. Children play quietly, elders read or sew, and the family enjoys both light and heat from the same simple source. These evenings aren't just warm physically, they create a warmth of atmosphere, strengthening family bonds during the long winter months. Of course, mantle lamps and sconces don't replace the heavy-duty heating of coal or wood stoves, but they add an important layer of comfort, a background warmth that reduces the workload of other systems. Combined with stoves and heaters, they make homes far more energy efficient and welcoming. In the end, this Amish double-duty trick reflects their entire way of life. Nothing wasted, everything put to good use. By turning light into both illumination and heat, they remind us that sometimes the simplest solutions can be the smartest ones. Masonry, heaters, the heavyweight champion among all the heating methods used by the Amish. Few are as impressive or as enduring as the masonry heater, known as the heavyweight champion of home warmth. This system combines the efficiency of fast wood burning with the staying power of thick stone walls. While it may not look as flashy as modern furnaces, its quiet strength has made it a trusted companion in Amish homes for generations. The concept is simple but brilliant. Instead of keeping a fire burning all day and night, masonry heaters use a small fire chamber designed for intense, high-temperature burns. A load of wood is burned quickly and efficiently, releasing massive amounts of heat in a short period of time. But here's the secret. The thick stone, brick, or cob walls surrounding the chamber absorb that heat like a giant thermal battery. Once charged, the heater slowly radiates warmth for the next 12 to 24 hours, all from just 1 or 2 fires a day. This steady release of heat is what makes masonry heaters so remarkable. The temperature inside the home stays consistent without the ups and downs common in wood stoves or fireplaces. Even more impressive, the outer surfaces of the heater remain safe to touch. Families often build benches or seating areas around the structure, creating the perfect cozy spot to read, or simply warm up after a cold day outside. In Amish homes, these benches often become gathering places, blending practicality with comfort. Another major advantage is cleanliness. Because the wood is burned at such a high temperature, masonry heaters produce almost no smoke. Emissions are minimal. Creosote buildup is nearly eliminated, and the air inside and outside the home stays fresh. For families that value health, sustainability, and stewardship of resources, this clean burn is a major benefit. Of course, masonry heaters are not small. They are massive structures that require planning and space. Building one into a home can be expensive up front, but once installed, they last for decades, even centuries. The investment pays for itself many times over in fuel savings and reliability. For the Amish, who think in terms of generations rather than quick fixes, this makes perfect sense. Amish home design hacks when most people think about heating. They picture stoves, furnaces, or fireplaces. But the Amish know that true warmth doesn't start with machines. It starts with the way a home is designed. For generations, they have used simple but clever architectural tricks to keep houses warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer, all without electricity. These design choices aren't flashy, but they save energy, reduce fuel costs, and make everyday life far more comfortable. One of the smartest hacks is how floor plans are arranged. Amish homes are typically designed with efficiency in mind. Rooms that are used most often, such as kitchens and living spaces, are clustered close to the main heat source. That way, the warmth from a coal stove or masonry heater doesn't have to travel far. Instead of wasting heat in rarely used hallways or large empty spaces, the design ensures that the family spends most of their time in the warmest. Parts of the home's south-facing windows are another brilliant feature. By orienting windows toward the sun, Amish homes capture passive solar heat during the day. Even in the coldest months, the low winter sun streams in, naturally warming the rooms and reducing the need for extra fuel. Thick curtains or shutters are often used at night to trap that heat inside, maximizing the effect. It's a simple trick that costs nothing but pays off every single day of winter. Thermal mass magic when it comes to keeping a home warm. The Amish don't just rely on fire itself, they rely on what fire leaves behind. The secret is thermal mass, the ability of heavy materials like stone, brick, and clay to soak up heat, store it, and then release it slowly over time. This thermal battery effect turns ordinary building materials into powerful heating partners, creating steady comfort long after the flames have gone out. One simple but effective example is soapstone. Amish families often place soapstone blocks close to their wood or coal stoves. During a burn, the blocks heat up intensely, storing energy like a sponge absorbs water. Then, once the fire dies down, the soapstone continues radiating warmth for 6 to 8 hours. Families can carry these blocks to bedrooms or place them under benches, where they work almost like old-fashioned hot water bottles, except bigger, longer lasting, and completely natural. Cost comparison when most American families open their heating bills in the winter. The numbers are enough to make them shiver even more. On average, a household spends between $1,500 and $2,500 every season just to keep the furnace running. That's money going straight into gas companies, electric providers, and fuel deliveries. But for the Amish, heating isn't a financial burden. It's a system of smart choices and efficient methods. In fact, Amish families often spend 60% less on heating than the average American household. Their typical seasonal cost falls between $600 and $1,000, a difference that adds up to thousands of dollars saved over the years. Coal heating, another Amish favorite, costs slightly more but still far below modern bills. A ton of coal, priced at $100 to $150, can keep a modest-sized home warm for about a month. Over an entire winter, families typically spend around $500 to $600 on coal. Then there are propane or kerosene heaters, which provide quick, portable heat without electricity. While more expensive than wood or coal, they still cost far less than a typical furnace. Amish households usually spend $700 to $800 per season on propane. The trick is timing. They often buy in bulk during the off-season, when prices are lowest, storing the fuel for winter use. This kind of planning ensures predictable costs while still avoiding the high bills of modern heating systems. While most families watch their heating bills climb into the thousands, the Amish stay warm using simple methods that are reliable, affordable, and built to last for generations. Their approach is proof that you don't need electricity, pricey furnaces, or endless utility bills to enjoy comfort through the coldest winters. Instead, with a little wisdom and efficiency, warmth can come naturally. Maybe it's time we all borrowed a page from the Amish playbook.